Hey, I thought it was a fabulous day to talk about foliage. Yeah, right? I think that that's true. I think that we talk about flowers a lot here, but I wanted to talk about some really cool foliage things that you can do to make your flower arranging easier. Or even better yet, maybe just experiencing foliage. The garden's starting to get into shape here, and it's late April. Hostas are coming out of the ground. Things are going to start leafing up. And foliage is a very important part of my arranged plant theory in the garden, but it's also a very important part about what I do when I'm arranging flowers. I talk about foliage first. And what that means is that we need structure sometimes in our vase. Sometimes we have a vase that has a big hole in it, and we can do crisscrosses of anchor tape, or we can use a natural mechanic, and that's foliage, to help provide some structure that makes it easier to place our flowers. And then we don't need as many flowers too sometimes. So I think that that's also an important thought about that. So we're going to have a series of videos about fabulous foliage and giving you some ideas. Obviously, I partner with my friends at FernTrust. They have, I work with them all the time. And the thing I love about them that I think is the most important thing is, A, they're in the foliage capital of the world. Yeah, that's right. The foliage capital of the world. Florida is the foliage capital of the world. That's why they have 126 different varieties of foliage that they can offer to you. But it's the perfect spot. In Florida, there's the citrus bubble is kind of what we call it. And where it's not quite perfect for citrus, it's perfect for foliage. And that's where they grow, obviously, the Florida fern, the leatherleaf, or baker fern, as you might call it, and all the different types of things they have, the lily grasses and the pittosporum and all the amazing things they create there. And so number one, that's important. But number two is FernTrust is a great name, right? Because it's fern you can trust. But that group is a group of foliage farmers. I think there's 11 right now that grow the different foliages, and then it allows those people to come together as a group to offer their foliages to the world. And it's the strength of having it be a cooperative, okay? And so they all come together. Those people that grow the different types of foliages bring them in, and they have standards that make it the very best foliage. So I think that that's important. And so FernTrust, obviously, my friends there, we've been with them for many years. My mentor, Bobby Ecker, worked with them for many, many years, creating Bobby's bouquets and the concept of the green bouquets that we're going to talk about today. So what we're going to talk about, these are called Just Add Flowers. And I want you to think about when you're looking for flowers, when you're going to your flower seller, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're going to the professional florist, asking about a green bouquet or asking about a selection of foliages. One of the problems that I have in the garden is I might not have 5 or 6 different kinds of foliage. I might have 1 or 2. But this way, I've got a different selection of foliage that I can utilize in my arrangements. Now, this one's called Just Add Flowers. Great name, right? Thanks, Bobby. And what it is it's a bouquet of foliage that allows us to just add flowers. And so I wanted to talk to you about how these guys go together. Obviously, we're using our dram cutters today. We've got our 2 dram tools, the bypass cutter and the compact pruner. They're in stylish green for our fabulous foliage presentation today. So I'm just going to cut the rubber band off of this. So this is one bunch. This is a Just Add Flowers bunch. And it has 2 pieces of variegated pittosporum. I love those because A, variegation adds texture to an arrangement, and pittosporum has an incredible fragrance. So that's really super helpful for our bouquet because not only is our bouquet going to have great texture, great foliage, long-lasting ability, it's also going to have a little bit of a fragrance. We also have some ruscus inside here. We've got some lily grass, and we've got foliage. Florida fern, okay? A lot of you call it leatherleaf, and the reason that it's called leatherleaf is because the fern, as it gets older, gets a hard, leathery type feel about it. Some people call it baker fern. I prefer to call it Florida foliage or Florida fern because it's grown in Florida. That's the perfect spot on the planet. Don't let anybody else tell you too that there's better places to grow it because there isn't. That's the perfect spot. And that's why it's the fern capital of the world. Okay. It's not the fern capital of Florida. It's not the fern capital of the United States. Fern capital of the world. There's signs. It's amazing, right? So we're going to use those. I like the apical dominance and the dark coloration of this, but the fact that we have that pointed piece of fern is going to add another texture. So we've got pointed apical, linear. We've got one that's kind of a focal. And look at our other one is also a focal type foliage as well. And look at how they're different. Dark green in coloration, light green with variegation. Very cool, right? So I know that we do stuff with different types of vases and different types of things. So I just wanted to show you the things that you can do with this green bouquet. Just add flowers. So let's start with a bud vase. Okay, this is a great bud vase from our friends at Dollar Tree. $1 for this guy. And Dollar Tree is one of the underwriters of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom Season 3. And we love having them on board. And so I've got that. So if I want to create some flowers, this is a great way to do it. And I just add flowers to that. Now, what's really interesting is if I'm going to put these in different parts of the house, let's use 3, right? Let's do 3 different bud vases so that we have flowers all around the house. That's my favorite thing. I like going into the bathroom, having flowers. I like going into the laundry room, having flowers. I like having some on the nightstand. I like having flowers around the house, right? So it's a great, easy way for us to do that. We have 3 pieces of Florida foliage. So obviously, we can drop those down inside our vases. Now see, okay, if I had flowers in the garden, right now I've got hellebores. I hope to have daffodils by the end of the week. That will be really exciting. Again, when I'm gonna, just like flowers, I'm gonna pull off any foliage that's gonna fall below the waterline. And I love this right now. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see close enough on there, but the ruscus has the little sprout on the back that looks almost like a little grasshopper. I love that. So that's going to go in there. I've got my lily grass right here. So obviously 1, 2, 3. There we go. My pittosporum. Look at this. Nature was taking care of me. 1, 2, 3 perfect pieces and 1 extra, right? So here, 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 here. And I've got 1 more piece here, actually 2. Okay, so I can cut here. I wish we had smell-o-vision because you would smell, I'm trying to think, minty, fresh, clean fragrance that comes with this variegated pittosporum. And I like, I always think about Eulalia Overmeyer, who was a mentor of mine and a friend in the flower industry, used to talk about, she would call pittosporum pittosporum to give it more of a feel. How about that, right? So now look at this. Look at, just add flowers. Of course, I've got 3 bed vases. I've got 3 arrangements ready to go. So now I truly can just add flowers. So let's talk about something fun. I love lilies. I'm crazy about that because 1 lily stem in a vase is going to be extremely, it's going to make that arrangement. That's it. It could be that, just that easy. We have a whole show on season 3 of Life in Bloom called about lilies. And here's one of my favorite tricks. These beautiful lilies are from Holland America Flowers, and Holland America Flowers is a closed caption sponsor for Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom too. So thank you to them for doing that. I think that that's wonderful and very important. When a lily is opening up, you're going to see that those little pieces of pollen in there. So as they open up, I reach in there and grab that pollen and pull it out. And I pull it out before it gets powdery. So as soon as I'm able to get my fingers inside there, like this one just popped open, I'm sure, moments ago, I get that pollen out of there. I take it out before it's powdery. So these are smooth right now. There's no powder on them. And that way, the pollen does not get on the stamen, which would then go down in and start to kill the flower to make a seed. Okay, so that's why we want to take that off there. Plus, it can get on our clothing, it can get on, you know, our tablecloth or something like that. But remember, if we do that, we can set that outside in the direct sunlight for 3 hours and it will disappear. We do that before we launder it or before we try and brush it off. Just set it in the sun and it'll disappear. Great trick. Okay, but so now look at this. I've got this. Now, let's just talk half a second about these lilies. I've got 1, 2 blossoms that are going to open now, another one that's going to open in a day or two, another 2 that are going to open a couple days after that. So I'm going to have waves of flowers with those lilies. That's really impressive, right? And it's just a really nice way to have flowers around the house. Remember, I have used my Chrysler Professional 3, okay, in that vase. So it's feeding that lily so that that lily is going to be able to open up those little buds. And really, truly, that's enough in that vase. But, you know, of course, I'm the little guy that spent some time in Atlanta. So I'm going to put 2 in it, okay? Because I want to have just a little bit more in that one vase, okay? So look at that vase with those beautiful lilies. Now, I'm going to slow down that opening process by coating it with Chrysler Professional Glory, okay? So 1 vase done. So this is going to go in the bathroom. Okay, I have a bathroom that is green and orange, and it has the Green Lantern in there, and it also has Aquaman in there. Big posters by Alex Ross. I love them. And so, but it's bright green and bright orange, same colors that we used on JTV many moons ago. So I love that, and those guys are in there. And so orange and green go really well in that bathroom. So that one's going to be beautiful in there. So then let's look at our next one. I just about had to sit down when I saw this at my flower cellar. Discolor leucadendron. Look at how beautiful that is. And look at that branch. I mean, holy smokes. There's a lot of stuff on there. So really, I need like 1, 2, 3, let's do 4. Oh, come on, I'll be Master Gardener 5. Okay, because I know sometimes we talk about, you know, how many pieces, parts should you use, you know, and some people like to think that it should be 5 or 3 or whatever. So again, now, because I have structure, look at this slight thin stem I have in there. And so because I've used my Foliage First for my arrangement, I have structure inside my vase that allows this to be easy to arrange. Okay. Now I have another bathroom that is yellow. Yeah, it's painted. That's painted yellow. It's actually the flower room. It is a bathroom. It was originally a laundry room, and what we did was we moved the laundry to a closet in our master closet, which I love. But then what we did then was we made that laundry bathroom into a flower prep room. And so it has all kinds of yellow pottery and yellow fun things in it. And so this will be great in there because yellows are in that room. So how pretty is that? Okay, so a little bit of flowers around the house. And oh, let's not forget our Chrysler Professional Glory. It's going to help these guys last a little bit longer. I don't know. You know what? See, I mean, it's just the J thing. But let's add a couple more in here. I just want a couple more because I can, right? That's my deal. Make yourself happy. I think that that's probably one of the key ingredients to, when people ask me about flowers, you know, they're like, you know, how do you make it look so easy? How do you make it go so fast? How do you, you know, the person I want you to impress and the person I want you to make happy with your flower arrangement is you. You don't need to please anyone else. That's the first person. And you know what? If you please yourself, then you're going to have a beautiful arrangement that's going to please other people as well. So I'm just advice. Okay. And I wasn't pleasing myself because I didn't quite have enough in there to suit me. And that's much prettier now, right? So there we go. How easy it is with my Just Add Flowers. Okay. What a great name. Just Add Flowers. Perfect. Okay. So then I think, I am crazy about green flowers in particular, green Fuji mums. I prefer to call them Fuji mums over spider mums because, you know, do you want a vase of spiders in your house? I don't think so. I want a vase of Fuji mums. They are named after Mount Fuji, which is where many of the varieties were discovered. However, today they're grown in Colombia by our friends, I think in Medellin, with our friends at Deli Floor, Latin America, have so many great, incredible varieties. And we actually have another Life in Bloom segment coming up about chrysanthemums too, and we feature a whole bunch of the different varieties from our friends at Deli Floor. We have yin yang in there, and we have milva. No, let's see, that's not milva. Alma, and we have. Thanks, JD. Yeah, thank you for jumping in my brain. So yeah, we show you all those different varieties, and that's really fun. And we talk about chrysanthemums. We exploding chrysanthemums during homecoming. Really, really fun thing that people used to do too. So there's that. And obviously our final coat here with that. So that's pretty easy. Now, look at that. We've got 3 beautiful arrangements that we created. Boom, boom, boom. And, you know, these 2 would look really good in that Aquaman bathroom because it's the colors of the bathroom. This chartreuse green and this bright orange. That'd be fun. Okay, but look how great they look together. Just as a side note, I was so excited when I went into my flower cellar and saw the Holland America label on these lilies. I was just like, those must go on with me. Perfect. So this is how that works. And I just wanted to so remember, you can utilize this. Now, do you need 3 bud bases to do that? No, certainly you don't. And here, I want to show you the concept behind this with just a simple little vase like this. You are familiar with this vase because I used it a lot on the show, on these videos. And so you get your bunch, take off your wrapping paper, remove the rubber band, and drop it into a vase like that. Now, look at how easy is that? Then the flowers go in. And look at, it's already designed. I mean, that's a just add flowers. Boom, 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 done. Fabulous. And this is beautiful enough that it could simply set anywhere in the house, even without flowers. You know, that's a great way to think about it. You know, hold on. Made me think. Let me do this. Okay, I have some aspidistra leaves from our friends at FernTrust. Okay, and so let's just make, you know, a foliage arrangement doesn't necessarily have to have flowers. It can have foliage, and sometimes even the foliage can substitute itself for flowers. We have another video coming up here on YouTube that shows you how to make these cute, adorable little roses that look just like this. And it's just going to take a couple little leaves like that. And so you can check out that that video and see how to make these. But this was just a little, you know, final thinking thought for me with this about what I could do with this. And so what I'm doing is I'm using that technique to create a little foliage rose that looks like that. Look how cute that is, right? And so then I'm just going to trim those short, and I'm going to tuck that down in that perfect little focal area there in the middle of my Florida foliage, right? Look how cute that is. Perfect. So, you know, flowers and foliage all around the house. Thanks to the fabulous foliage bouquets and just for flowers, right? From our, just add flowers from our friends at FernTrust. So hope you enjoyed this fast, easy way for you to get some structure in there. Remember foliage first, remember just add flowers, remember FernTrust. Until next time, keep having fun with flowers.